The story begins like this. A new house was completed on the purchased family plot. No joke, our great-grandfather's land was bought back, sold by treacherous relatives who knows how many years ago. Our entire family, mother, father, brother, grandmother, and cat, and your humble servant are moving safely to a new place of residence. Firstly, upon arriving at the place, the whole family realized with bitterness that there was nowhere to sleep. The cunning mother and father set up their nest in their room, but all the other rooms were pristinely empty. All the beds, sofas, wardrobes, chairs, etc. were stacked in our living room, adjacent to the kitchen. Add to all this valuable belongings a couple of dozen cardboard boxes with books and everyone's personal belongings. If I'm not mistaken, even the cat laid claim to one of the boxes. During the day, everyone was excited about the move, and by the evening they were tired. Mom and Dad went to their place. My grandmother and I settled down in the living room. We can't sleep on the floor really. But my brother showed a rebellious character, took with him a tape recorder, a blanket, and 3 or 4 square cushions from the sofa, and built a kind of bed in his room and lay down there. I didn't want to sleep yet. My grandmother began snoring, and the cat went to inspect his new possessions. This was the prelude. Let's move on to the times. And the point is that I really wanted to play on a portable game console. In order not to wake up my grandmother, her eyesight is sharp and she sleeps lightly. I covered my head with a blanket and, under this wigwam, opened the console to restore order and balance in the whole world. Captivated by the game, I feel a soft but very noticeable push in the side. The console is immediately closed. My heart skips a beat. "Grandma?" I quietly ask. Zero answer. The cat is back, sleeping next to me. He couldn't say hello to me that way. "Mika? Mom? Dad?" The same reaction. I, deciding that it was my imagination, opened the console again. As soon as the screen lit up, another push was driven into my side, more noticeable. The screen turns off. I wrap myself in a blanket and turn on my side, clinging to the cat. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared, and I'm afraid to open the blanket even a little. If I see something or even think something, my heart won't stand it. Probably 15 minutes pass. I suddenly hear a quiet groan or ringing from the direction of the kitchen. I listen. The dishes in the kitchen cabinets are gently clicking, a very subtle and pleasant melody. It calmed me so much that I leaned out from under the blanket to hear it better. The fear disappeared. About 5 minutes later, I heard a door creaking in the back of the house, as in films. And as befits the main character in such films, I panicked again and prepared for the worst. My brother swims out of the darkness. Usually forever tanned, now he is white, like snow. I was terribly scared. Maybe the person has some kind of illness. Lies down to my bed silently, slowly wraps himself in a blanket just as silently, and only after these manipulations declares, "Brother, there's something in my room." It doesn't let me sleep, and it's like it's dragging furniture around the room. I'll just close my eyes when it drags something right in front of me. After listening, I talk about my adventures. We are both lying, and we are both already scared. As if calming us down, the glass melody begins to play again. My brother listened to it, listened. He said, "Take the cat, we'll sit in my room all night, we'll listen to the tape recorder." That's what we did. It would be better if we didn't do this. As soon as we settled down at my brother's, such bedlam began that you could either stand or fall. The glass shook as if from a strong wind, creaks, steps, rustles, sighs, some rustling, clinking and clanking, incessantly. The cat suddenly scratched at the door, asked to let him out. Our admonitions did not help. The door had to be opened. Only we opened the door, all the cacophony stopped everywhere. Only no, but someone creaked somewhere, and someone's heavy gaze stuck in the back. All night someone was watching us without stopping, and the cat, raising his tail like a pipe, moved towards the kitchen, where he began not to eat snacks, but to run after something, catch, rake with his paw on the empty floor. And around us, someone would run or just walk. Footsteps on the roof were clearly audible. We went up to the second floor to see, hey, if it was a thief, when such a heart-rending, terrible scream was heard below. And then Grandma's sleepy, "Why are you yelling in the middle of the night?" So my brother and I, barely alive, came down. You can't imagine what it's like this, from the balcony, where under the starry sky you feel relatively safe, descend again into the viscous darkness, and told our grandmother about all our misadventures. She is an elderly person. She has seen a lot. She was not particularly surprised. The three of us sat on the sofa and listened incessant sighs, footsteps, the sound of furniture being dragged in empty rooms. The cat was playing with his new friend in the kitchen. Exactly at 3 in the morning, the silence turned from oppressive to calming. All creaks, wheezing, and other hearsies disappeared. Tired, the three of us fell asleep on one bed. And in the morning, the most offensive thing awaited us. When our story was told to Mom and Dad, the cat was even presented as a witness. Such a hail of ridicule rained down on us, like play less games and watch enough American movies, then you can't sleep. That the brother, a 2-meter handsome man with long hair, girls, simply grabbed his mother by the scruff of the neck. That's what happened, and said, "Tonight, madam, you will sit with us." He knew that it was useless to argue with Dad, and on the second morning, 4 people and a cat were already talking passionately about what they had heard and felt. Dad, left without his main strategic ally, almost gave up. After 3 days, everything calmed down. Dad just added, "I didn't. I know what you saw there. But I'll tell you what. When the workers were crushing the rock, they found a small cave where a child could barely fit. The inside was covered with blue clay. There was a ball in it. Small, the size of 2 fists. The workers, they smashed it with a shovel." Now I remember this story with a smile, but if I were again in the dark, surrounded by all these things and the terrible feeling that you are being watched in an empty house, I would, of course, be afraid again. The story may not be so scary, but she is real.